Alrighty, so from here, we will create our MAKECREDENTIAL API endpoint. Okay, so we'll start with auth session routes dot get, and we will call this MAKECREDENTIAL. Okay, and this will take a request, and instead of returning a response, we will actually be returning a public key credential options. So just to show you what that is on the WebAuthn documentation. So this is an object that contains a number of required and optional fields that a server specifies to create a new credential for a user. Okay, so pretty much this is an object that we need to return back to our client or our iOS project in this case, in order to continue on our WebAuthn credential registration. Okay, so from here, you'll actually see Xcode complaining that we need to conform to something called response encodable. So from here, we can add an extension on our public key credential creation options, and then conform that to async response encodable. Okay, all right, and then from here, you'll see Xcode complaining, saying to add the protocol stubs. Okay, so we'll add that. All right, just take that vapor out and just put return response. Okay, alrighty, so pretty much the reason why we need to add this async response encodable is so that it can decode the public key credential creation options in a JSON format. All right, so from here, we will add the following. So headers, type HTTP headers, and then we'll declare headers content type to be type JSON. All right, and then we will return the response, and once it's returned, or once it's decoded properly, we'll return the status, HTTP status of OK, headers, our headers, and our body will be of itself. So JSON encoder dot encode itself. Okay. All right, and then from there we can continue back on our API endpoint. Okay, so first thing we would need to do is declare a user. So we'll do user try request dot auth dot require user dot self. Okay, all right, and then next we will make an instance of the options. So request dot WebAuthn, again registration, and then it will be user dot WebAuthn user. All right, and then next we need to store the challenge somewhere, right? So we would do request dot session dot data, and we'll store the registration challenge and we grab that from our options, base 64 encoded string. Okay, all right, so this will temporarily, let's see. Looks like I don't need. Nope, typed this wrong. just be data options.challenge, and then encode itself. Okay. All right, so pretty much this will store the challenge from our options object inside our session temporarily in the meantime, because we will need this later on the challenge when we do the verification on the user. And then after that, we just return our options. Okay, and let's see, that should be good. All right, so next we will just move on to the more interesting part of the WebAuthn credential registration, and where it comes to the verification of the user itself, and we will move on from there.